Right, we've now got Steve on the line from Blackstone Cherry. Now, you guys are well, you're about in a week's time to be over here on tour, and you've got coinciding with that a brand new album coming out.
Yeah, we actually fly out in 3 days. We fly out this Saturday. I can't remember what day that is, the 23rd or something like that, I think. But yeah, we fly out this Saturday to kick off the tour, and on the 29th, Screaming at the Sky. We're very excited about it. We can't wait.
And this is the follow-up to The Human Condition, which came out in 2020. But I guess the first album for you in the band.
Yes, and well, actually, it's kind of funny. The last interview I was doing, I guess technically the official first, and they brought it to my attention, was the live at the Royal Albert Hall. This one, of course, is my first studio album with the guys. So
Ah, right.
yeah,
And so
first one.
how has that
Yeah.
been as the new boy, though obviously you've been there a couple of years now. What's it been like for the writing process for the album? Because presumably adding a new member of the band, has that changed the dynamics, the sort of the style or how has that worked for you?
It's been great. As far as like the perception, I don't know, because I remember thinking for like a brief moment, like yeah, I wonder who's going to play bass, because for I was just subbing, kind of filling in at first, and it was a quick process and transition. But yeah, I've essentially what feels like have grown up and been around the guys my whole life, living from the same area in Kentucky, and a town over essentially from Glasgow and Edmonton, where the band's originally from. And now I live in Glasgow, Kentucky, where Ben and I live. And of course, Chris and John Fred still live in the Edmonton area. But been around the guys for years. I was around and still remember when the Rock and Roll tape came out. And then the first record and everything else after that. The previous band that I was in, Otis, we've opened up on the road for Blackstone Cherry over the years. So even then, I remember years ago watching the guys uh, when it was time to make the next record, how their process, how they would do it out on the road touring on the back of the bus, because they've always toured so much and always worked really hard over the years, and we still tour a lot and work hard now. So it just fits in easier and it's convenient, to in the back of the bus. So I remember watching their process for years now, and it wasn't, foreign to me, getting into the fold in the mix, if you will. And of course, they were gracious about and have a hand in the writing process with them.
So what can you tell us about Screaming in the Sky then, as compared to Human Condition? Because presumably you were out there touring that as well. How is that sort of a change for Blackstone Cherry then?
Well, I'll tell you this. The feedback that I've heard so far from a couple of people and different outlets is how this record seems to be more heavy. They were speaking about how this potentially could be the heaviest record Blackstone Cherries maybe put out yet. So, it's been awesome, and we're a band. And even before I was in the band, just because of where we're geographically located, we have many layers, musical layers, if you will. And it's also a testament, to our playing abilities. But essentially, it's because of how we were raised, what we were exposed to as children growing up. We've had such a collective taste, from country music to metal, back to bluegrass to gospel to blues, 80s rock to grunge, and Bob Marley, reggae, everything in between. So when you're a kid and you're getting exposed to all of that stuff at an early age, I can pretty much go ahead and tell you all four of us, listening to music probably in the womb. And then when you get older and you start playing, an instrument, and then to finding your own voice with the instrument, all those things that you're kind of raised with, I guess, essentially, or been exposed to, just starts to naturally come out. So Blackstone Cherry, and I've always felt this way, and even now, obviously being in the band, has many layers. We can write a heavy record, we could go in tomorrow and write a funk record, We could write a straight up rock record, or reggae record, or country record, or whatever. The possibilities are endless, and that's also great too for the creative process, because I can listen to a bluegrass song and it can give me inspiration, to write a heavy metal riff, or I can listen, to a blues song or a country song and it give me inspiration to write a reggae song or a hard rock. Inspiration stems from many different things, especially musically, and Blackstone Cherry's always had many layers to it. So, and this one's kind of got that more heavy edge to the record, screaming at the sky than maybe some of the previous ones. So we're excited about getting it out to the world, getting everybody headbanging with us.
And is it uniformly heavy, or has it got that mixture of ballady, you say bluegrass? Has it got that sort of elements in there, or would you just say it's an all-out rock album this time?
Definitely all out, heavy rock album. So, unfortunately, you won't hear like any acoustic instruments like a banjo or nothing like that. But I could probably pinpoint maybe some things, at least on my part, where I've maybe borrowed, and that's always one of the cool things about what we're doing today, interviews and stuff, because a lot of bands and musicians and artists over the years, you hear them talk about this and how they wrote this song, where the inspiration came from, and it could have been completely different than what you expected, or they could have got this guitar riff or drum fill idea from a completely different style or genre of music. So it's always cool, and tidbits, and but yeah, this one's definitely a more heavy record, and it's been a lot of fun so far playing some of the singles out live.
So the title "Screaming at the Sky" sounds angry. Is it an angry record then, or why that particular title track, I suppose?
So when we initially started writing for the record, of course, it was during the pandemic and stuff like that. So I think everyone, experienced a lot of different things during the pandemic. So, and I've always also said as well, my entire life and career, that when a band or an artist makes a record, it's like a current snapshot, of their life. So, when you're making music and writing songs when you're 18 years old, you're kind of singing about an 18-year-old's perspective, and that. So, in your 30s or 40s, and you've got a family and a mortgage and bills and all this stuff, your perspective kind of changes. So the writing changes. It has to, and that's with anybody in any genre of music or any band or artist. So again, I feel like as you grow and get older and you put out new music, it's like a current kind of snapshot of your life essentially. And there's a lot of good elements in this record with the lyrics and everything that hints on different aspects of mental health that I think that, a lot of people can connect with and resonate with. And, it's amazing because as a artist and being in a band, writing music and stuff, it's like you get to say things and write things that maybe other people are thinking but don't know how to say. And so we always try to put out, with that being said, we always it's positive and uplifting. And I remember speaking to a fan of the, and they were talking about the first time they came to a Blackstone Cherry show, how they came by themselves and they almost didn't come, because of social anxiety that we all deal with in certain aspects. But they were so glad that they did, because when they came to the show, they saw other people that looked like them, and, made all kinds of new friends at the show, and just felt like, Chris was singing things that they wanted to say but didn't know how to say, and just connected so much with his vocal and the message of the music and the songs, and just felt their tribe of people. And that's essentially, I think, what we all want, in life, is to be around our tribe and all those good things. So it's amazing to get to provide that for people, and it's amazing to be a fan, of music, and I get to go watch some of my favorite bands and get that same kind of experience as well. So
because Smile World is the latest single I think that's just come out, and that's a track that sort of embodies a lot of what basically you were saying, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I read, I could be wrong, that it takes more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile. So why not, use less muscles to smile, and you
Mhm.
feel better when you smile. And just little things, little things like that, that we can add to our day, to make us feel better. Or, I've always said, when you're out in public, just smiling at someone, or saying, hey, you never know how that may impact someone. And I've always been conscious of that. It shows in playing music over the years, because, people, they spend their hard earned money, buying a concert ticket, buying the t-shirt, supporting the music. And so anytime that, we can shake a hand and take a picture and say thank you and give back, we always try to do that, because, I remember what it was like, being a kid and going to shows and hoping you can get something signed, or meet somebody in the band. So, that always sticks with you.
And so, what's it like then to be coming back and playing the UK in a week's time? Because you've always had a great reaction here in the UK.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's essentially like a home away from home. And the people over there are amazing. Their love and appreciation for Blackstone Cherry over the years has been second to none. And it's just amazing to see how well the band is accepted over there, and the love and the support throughout the years. And it's just it's an amazing experience to get to play for all the beautiful people in the UK, and in Ireland, and Scotland. And you know you can think and pick different things about different places and cities that you play, but it all just kind of compounds and adds up to this awesome experience. And we're definitely looking forward to this one, because primarily over the years, if you see Blackstone Cherry in the UK, it's always been an arena. So it's kind of cool to get to go back and do smaller, more intimate shows for the fans, because I've seen a lot of fans say online, and as told us personally, how they wish that they could see us in a more intimate setting. So we're glad that we're getting to come back and be able to provide that, with the album coming out and doing the HMV store signings and stuff. So it's just going to be an all around awesome experience, and we can't wait.
And when does the album come out?
September 29th. So
Ah,
next week. Is that next Tuesday, I think?
yeah, it must be. Yeah, yes.
Next Friday,
Next Friday. Excellent.
29th.
Well, and coincides. And when's the first day of the tour? First day of the tour must be about the same time, isn't it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that the first day of the tour is in Ireland. Let me actually pull it up.
Yeah, I
That
can
was,
see. Islington Academy on the 29th. You got two dates in Ireland and Islington Academy on the 29th when the album comes out.
yes, the first show is in Belfast on the 26th at the Telegraph Building. Then we're in Dublin, and then we come back and play in London at Islington. I can't say that word right. I'm reading like five things at once. We come back and play London on the 29th, and then Sheffield on the 30th, and then it keeps going. And we're rocking.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, I wish it was like a little bit longer, but yeah, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So we're over there pretty quick, and yeah, we can't wait to see everybody. It's always amazing seeing our family and our friends and fans over in the UK.
Great stuff. Well, thank you ever so much for that. I look forward to seeing you well in a week's time, and I look forward to the album.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a
Brilliant.
fun time. Thank you, Chaz.